What's good? What's good? It's the one and only, but what do I know? Boxing coming back at y'all with another one, man. So we got Regis Prograis and Regis Prograis and Jo Jo Diaz in the news, man. Looks like they'll be fighting on the undercard of whatever. I'll get into the article and read it. What's the dude? Oscar Duarte. Listen, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. I am interested in seeing it. You know, I guess both of them are past their primes. I think Regis is a little bit bigger than JoJo. JoJo started at 126, I believe. Got a title at he lost it. He had a title opportunity at 126 against Gary Russell, and then moved up to one. He lost that, by the way, and then moved up to 130 and beat Tevin Farmer for the IBF title, if I'm not mistaken. And then, you know, after that, I'm not sure what happened. I think like his career kind of just went downhill. I believe he moved up to 135. I know he lost to William Zepeda. You know, obviously he lost to like guys like Devin Haney. And it just, you know, guys that he shouldn't have really lost against. It just, you know, he just was going through a lot. I know he had like some type of charge by, you know, some woman was pressing charges on him or whatnot. He was going kind of through a lot, so it's kind of seemed like he just kind of went on a downward spiral. As far as Regis Prograis is obviously coming off his loss to Jack Catterall and Devin Haney or whatnot. So I guess this is like more so, and I heard Regis Prograis was gonna compete in bare knuckle boxing or whatnot, but I guess this is somewhat of a crossroad fight, but, you know, for me, it's like, bro, well, I'm going to hold my opinion. I'm going to speak on my opinion after the video. I went ahead and looked up the article or whatnot. I'm going to go ahead and get into that. But, you know, I mean, styles make fights. I'll just put that. Styles make fights. But let's go ahead and get into the article. All right, so shout out to the Boxing News app. It says Prograis versus Diaz Jr. added to Duarte Sims card. All right, it says Golden Boy Promotions has fleshed out the DAZN undercard for Oscar Duarte August 2nd return against Kenneth Sims at Chicago Credit Union 1 Arena, naming the compelling co-feature that pits two former two-time 140-pound title holders, Regis Prograis, who has the record of 29-3 with 24 knockouts, against ex-IBF featherweight champion. Against, because I was sure gonna say, I thought it was saying against two former 140-pound title holders. And I'm like, I don't remember JoJo holding the title at 140. But anyways, it said ex-IBF featherweight champion Joseph JoJo Diaz, who has the record of 34-7 with 15 knockouts. Regis will seek to halt a two-fight skid after consecutive points loss to Devin Haney and Jack Catterall, while Diaz aims to build on last month's morale-boosting 8-round decision in Tijuana that snapped his own three-bout slump. So Joseph Diaz done lost 3 times in a row too. But anyways, it says further down the card, rising cruiserweight Tristan Kalkarika meets slick Canadian southpaw Kareem Hackett in a 10-rounder, and U.S. Olympian Joshua Edwards, who's 3-0 with 3 knockouts, faces fellow heavyweight prospect Ken Audi, whatever, over 6. The DAZN broadcast opener features Mexico's punchers. This ain't got nothing to do with nothing. But I guess they were just speaking on the fact that Regis Prograis will be on the card with Joseph Diaz. And, you know, I guess that kind of spices things up a bit. You know, I guess if, you know, you got two former names, or two guys that made somewhat of a mark in boxing, you know, fighting each other. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. This might sound a little, you know, harsh or whatnot, and I'm not being a hater at all, but I've never really been big on Regis Prograis. Like, I've never really cared for him. You know, at one point he was making some noise. I know he was pressing for, or he was calling out Terrence Crawford at one particular moment. Thank God he didn't, you know, step in there with that, or maybe his career would have been shorter. I just never thought highly of Regis. I mean, Regis is okay. He's not a bad fighter. He's a good fighter. Obviously, you got to be someone. You got to have, you know, skills and stuff. And you know, you're not gonna make it to that level without being a good fighter. He's a good fighter, no doubt about it. But he's just not, to me. He doesn't have what it takes to be that all-time great, in my opinion. I think he's very sluggish on his feet. I think he's slow with his punches. It's nothing creative really about Regis, in my opinion, that makes me feel like he's would be able to take it to the next level. And again, this is just my opinion. You know, obviously I know some people who are Regis Prograis fans would take, you know, offense to this, but it's just my opinion. I just don't think that Regis has what it takes to get to that next level. And neither, you know, and I feel even worse about JoJo. Like JoJo to me is just your average good fighter, if that makes sense. Like JoJo is like, I definitely never saw like his type of style, the type of style that JoJo has. You know how, like, I'm gonna give you an example, like somebody like Brandon Rios, right, where had that come forward style, right. But the thing about JoJo is actually an Olympian as well. But anyways, guys like Brandon Rios and stuff like that, like, yeah, while they're entertaining, like you know for a fact, like, bro, they have a cap to their longevity. It's a cap to their career. And guys like that will never, like, you know, just, I don't feel like they'll ever be like that Hall of Fame legendary type fighter. Now you had guys like Eric Morales, but Eric Morales wasn't just a come forward fighter that just would, you know, lock foreheads with you and just, you know, work on the inside. Like, not those, like, those type of fighters to me just are very limited or whatnot. So with that being said, I just always kind of felt like Jo Jo Diaz as well was just not really, it just really wasn't that guy. You know what I'm saying? I knew, like, you can always, when you watch boxing for as long as I've been, and you actually been in the sport for as long as I have, you'll see, like, you'll know, like, damn, nah, that dude is special. Like, somebody, like, as much as y'all don't like this dude, like, somebody like Devin Haney, like, that dude is special. Like, he's very skillful. Or Shakur Stevenson. Somebody like Shakur Stevenson, very skillful, you know, can take it to that next level. Somebody like Lomachenko. Somebody like, who's boxing in today's time that I feel like y'all might not like this, or I'm taking a step further. Somebody like Sebastian Fundora, I don't feel like we'll be able to take it to that next level. Like, you know, when Sebastian moves up in weight, I feel like, bro, that's gonna be the cap to his career once he moves up in weight, and, you know, fights like those type of guys. But then somebody like Terrence Crawford, somebody like Canelo Alvarez, like, those are talents, like, yeah, bro, they're special, and you can see they're special. You know what I'm saying? So I just, with that being said, I don't think that, like, the winner of this fight is going to, like, actually even grab a title, especially if they're at 140, which is such a dangerous stacked division. I do have Regis Prograis winning because that's his natural weight. Not just because it's his natural weight, but I feel like if I'm gonna put the two together, I'm gonna definitely say Regis is a bit more skillful than JoJo, and JoJo is really, like, just on the decline. Regis, he's lost, other than Devin Haney, it hasn't been no lopsided loss, right? Jack Catterall was just not a lopsided loss, and neither was Josh Taylor, but, you know, Devin Haney was. But I still feel like he has room to make competitive bouts. JoJo, I don't see it. And again, he's moving up to 140, so I don't see him beating Regis. I think he's been stopped once. JoJo does have a chin. He's very durable, but I don't see. I just don't see how he can beat Regis. You know, and if he does, that just shows you where Regis is at. You know, so, you know, we'll see what they do. But I do like fights like this where it's like, okay, you know, both fighters are kind of like, they have a point to prove, you know, let them tell it. So we'll see what they have to offer. As far as the loser, I mean, while I feel like really both of them, I don't want to ever say a fighter should retire, because I don't, you know, if they need the money, go make your money, dude. But I will say I don't see either one of them grabbing, especially JoJo, grabbing a title. You know, I just don't, especially at 140, bro. It's just too stacked of a division. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see what they have to offer. Yeah, I do feel like it'll be an entertaining fight, just because both of them are flat foot, and, you know, they look to come forward. So maybe a statement will be made. Who knows? Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Who do you see winning this fight? What do you see the outcome for the winner and the loser? But what do I know?